Hey everyone, I'm Jodie O'Brien, and this is the 3994 podcast. I don't know about you, but this warm fall weather has made for some beautiful days, and we took full advantage recently by hitting the square and filming high above Fishbone Alley. Savannah Chamber of Commerce Executive Director Katie Graham and I had a great conversation there. Katie is one of those unique people who doesn't know a stranger, and on top of that, she puts 100% into every event she plans. The 4th of July celebration is a great example. This one brought out over 2,000 people this summer. We want to go ahead and thank our sponsors before we get started today. To those who make these interviews possible, you can find more about them in our show notes. If you like this podcast, go ahead and subscribe on YouTube, comment, like, and share. Now, enjoy getting to know Katie. Okay, Katie, and what is your title at the Chamber?
I'm the Executive Director at the Chamber of Commerce.
And how long have you been in that role?
Almost 2 years.
So tell me about what the Chamber of Commerce means to the city of Savannah.
So I think we do a lot more than people think that we do. We're really an advocate for our business community, but we advocate for this entire county. I know a lot of people think we're the events planning committee, and we do love to do that. But we really advocate for our businesses and our citizens. We're here to educate our businesses and citizens on what's going on in town, what we can be doing better. That's kind of where we want to stay, be the advocate for all of the people here.
How many businesses are Chamber members?
We have 173 businesses across 3 counties.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And so what is the goal of the Chamber this year? Like, do you guys have kind of a mission that you set out every year and write it down? It's your mission statement. It's your goal for the year. What is that, or what has that been?
So for this year, we went into 25, and we really wanted to invest in that partnership that we have with the city and the county, as there's been a disconnect for so many years, and it was no one person's fault or any organization's fault, but to really go forward, we needed to have that relationship with the city and the county, and we've really worked on that this year, and with this new strategic plan that we just did, I feel like we're at a good point in that.
Okay, talk to me about the strategic plan that no one knows about.
Yeah.
Do inform us.
So we hired a strategic planner, Jim Fram. He's out of Columbia. He does strategic planning for chambers all over the country. He's been the director of several very large chambers, and now he is retired, not retired. And so he came to Savannah. He was very impressed with what we had going on here. So we met with him October 3rd at the Bunker Club with 18 community leaders from all over the county. We had representatives from the city, Andrew County, our chamber, business owners, just community advocates that we have. It was a really broad group of individuals. We're pretty proud of that group.
And so when you guys got together and started talking about what a strategic plan looked like for Savannah, for the chamber, what exactly did you have in mind? Are some of the goals to increase the number of businesses that are members, more events? Like, what is it looking like strategic wise?
Yeah, so we have always done a ton of events for this community, and we know that that's super important for our community, and we love to do that. But we're at a place now where we really want to have structured events that are supporting our business community countywide, and bringing people together. And we're trying to fill a void where that just isn't happening. We have a ton of community events. We have a lot of organizations in this county that are getting together to have family events. And we really want to have events that promote our business community and what they're doing in our county, and showcasing that. So going into 26, that is our goal. And we also want to have a more educated community. So we're going to try really hard to go into 26 with having education classes for our business community and having forums for our community to be informed on what's going on with their city and their county government. I just don't feel like people are informed on what is going on, and it's super important that we have that.
So interesting. Like the festival that's coming up, obviously it's a family festival, the fall festival. I want to talk to you about that, but it's interesting to think about going into 26. You guys really want to focus on more of the businesses that you're attempting to promote instead of maybe just doing what everybody else is kind of doing. So anybody can do a family festival, but I can see that you really want to narrow that focus.
Yeah.
And why is that? What is beneficial about doing that?
So our businesses are they're the backbone of the county. They're our large tax base, and they give to this community way more than people see. They're sponsoring your kids' t-ball team. They're sponsoring the football field. They're sponsoring your kids' sports activities and things. And people just don't see that. And I just don't think they get enough recognition. And we really need to support that because that's what's keeping our community alive.
So will we have a Chamber Fall Festival next year? Because you're making me nervous.
Yeah. So we're going to restructure some of our events. So this year's Fall Festival, we really wanted to promote family, but also our businesses. So we're going to have vendors from all over the place. We have a tasting tent that will showcase our 5 businesses that are able to sell alcohol. So they will be there. We have Trick or Treat Street, and that is really our business community coming together to showcase what they have. And Trunk or Treat, we have several emergency services entities that will be there. So it's a showcase to our community, but it's really us supporting our businesses and showcasing them and getting eyes on the businesses that are in town. So it's still a family event. It's just we're kind of showcasing those businesses.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And tell me, it's going to be located right here on the square.
On the square.
Okay. And so what can people expect if they come down? What time does it start?
Yeah. So 10 o'clock, we will start everything. Our vendors will be open. Trick or Treat Street and the Trunk or Treat starts at 10, as well as the Touch a Truck. We have emergency services. We'll have tow truck. Their equipment will be there with tractors. So the kids can kind of take pictures on those and learn about that type of stuff. We have a costume contest at 2 o'clock. Our Caldwell Banker girls are always so good to judge this for us. So they can come at 2 o'clock if they pre-register for costume contest. That's free. Trick or Treat is free. The Touch a Truck is free. We'll have some A+ kids are doing face paint and tattoos. And then we will have our 2 dance studios in town will be performing from 2 to 4. We have live music in the evening from some local bands and acts. So we'll be right here on the square from 10 to 6 is most of our kids stuff and the vendors. And then 6 to 8, you can do the tasting tent and food and things for the adults.
Looking back at what you have accomplished, what are you most proud of, would you say?
I would say myself and our chamber as a whole, we are extremely proud of the 4th of July event that we had. I don't know that we've ever had a community event like that before, and that was an amazing showcase of what we can do as a community, and that is probably our proudest accomplishment. It was a lot of work, but we're just going to keep doing it bigger and better.
Tell me about how many people are on your board.
So we have a board of 10, and then we have several chairs that are non-voting board members, but they are out in the community and doing things, and they're excellent partners for us. So they step up when we need a little extra help, and they steer those things. And it's a small, tight group, but we're all really strong in the community, and we want to keep doing that.
Well, I know a lot of us, too, maybe don't understand exactly how Chamber of Commerce organizations work in the state of Missouri.
Yeah.
We hear about them. We know that, when you get to a community, contact the Chamber of Commerce, get a Chamber of Commerce catalog. I know it was one of the first things I did when I moved to St. Joe.
Yeah.
I was like, I need a catalog. I need their magazine. You know what I mean? You just want to get a hold of something tangible. You know that they're going to be the organization that's promoting any community you go to. But what does that look like?
Our chamber is very open. We have me, I'm the only employee, and then we have our board of 10. And we all kind of take our own roles. It's not a job for one person. We can't do what we do with one person. But I have a very supportive board that makes it possible. Most chambers have large boards and large employee base, and that just doesn't work in a small town.
Is the board all volunteer?
All volunteer.
Okay, a lot of people maybe don't know that.
Yep, all volunteer. And it's quite a bit of work, and people just don't understand what that takes. But there's several hours involved in being out in the community and in a boardroom making decisions on what is best for the community and our organization and our businesses. And it takes a lot of thought and time.
When do you guys sit down and go through your calendar each year to decide what events are going to be taking place? Because I would love to be a fly on the wall in that meeting.
Yeah, so we're actually in that right now. So we'll meet the end of this week, and we will approve our calendar for next year. Our strategic plan was helpful in that, so we kind of knew what we needed to cut and what we needed to restructure and things that we wanted to add. So about September, October every year, we go and look at the calendar and see what we want to do next year. And then sometimes partway through the year, we change our mind. But we kind of listen to what's going on in the community and make decisions on that.
That's super exciting. So, what are you most looking forward to this year? I mean, aside from having a beautiful baby.
Yeah. Yeah. I am excited about the board that we have going into 26. We are all very excited about this community, very invested in this community. We all have a very similar vision that we've worked very hard to get to. We're in a really good place going in to next year. And I would say we are all the most excited about the 4th of July event. And then there's a group of us that are very excited about Christmas. We have Candlelight Walk every year, and we brought that back, and that is very exciting to a lot of us.
That's wonderful. Okay, so tell me a little bit about your background, Katie,
Yep.
because I know that you were a business owner.
Mhm.
So tell me about that and what kind of and how did you end up in this role?
Yeah. So I went to college for agribusiness, and then I opened up my grooming salon in 2020, right as soon as the pandemic started. And then I closed my business for about 8 weeks. I worked that when I had my children. They were very young and they could go to work with me. It worked excellent with their schedule. I loved being a business owner. Um, but I really love this community. And I've always been invested volunteering in this community with organizations and things. And I just felt like it was a good time to shift my career. And that's how I ended up here. The timing was perfect. And I'm the 6th generation of my family on both sides to be in this county. So I just had a lot of roots here and a lot of investment. And I really want what's best for everybody across the entire county from every demographic. So that's kind of why I made the shift.
Did you grow up in Andrew County?
Yeah.
You said where
Yep.
where did you go to school?
So I graduated from Savannah in 14, and my family and we're towards Helena. So now we're Helena kids. Yep.
I love that. I love that. Tell me about your babies.
Yeah.
How many kiddos do you have?
Yeah, I have 2 right now and 1 on the way. So Ethan is 6. He goes to Helena. Violet is 4. She's in preschool. And then Cooper is due in December.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And tell me what you hope for your kids. Like when you're long retired years and years from now,
Yeah.
what do you hope that is lasting here for your kiddos?
I never wanted to leave here. This was always where I knew I was going to be at. And I want that for my kids. I want them to go out, spread their wings, and then decide that they still want to be right here in little old Savannah or Helena or Avenue City or wherever. But I want this to be a place that they're proud of, that they can say, we're from Savannah. And everybody's like, that's a great place for you to be from. We have an amazing school district here. Everybody wants to be here. And I want this to be the place that they are proud to come back to.
Transitioning from a business owner into the role that you're in now, obviously much different, but you're still supporting small businesses. What do you feel like as a previous small business owner that the chamber needs to be giving people, giving to businesses, giving back to their members? What do they need?
Yeah, so I think it's hard to reach an entire county, but I came from a different background. So I felt like our rural businesses weren't being reached as much as the businesses that you see in town when you drive through town. I had a storefront, but you're not driving by my business every day. So we needed to give our members a point of communication and a chance to get their business out there and their voice heard when you're not driving by their storefront every day. So when I took this position, that was my biggest goal, was to reach out to our rural businesses and those businesses that are like non-traditional, your home-based businesses, your like food truck businesses, your businesses outside the city limits. We want to give them a voice, and we are trying really hard to do that. We've made an excellent reach. We have several in the last 18 months. We've had pretty good growth in our membership with those businesses that just aren't in the city limits or they're non-traditional, and we're really proud of that.
I love that. That's awesome. What do you dream for Savannah?
Yeah.
More than anything?
Man, that is so hard. We've had excellent growth just on this square. We use the term bedroom community a lot. But I want this to be a place that feels like home to everybody, and we're getting there. We would like to see a little bit more shop local. Obviously, we promote that all the time. We would like to see a little bit more diversity in our businesses. We have a ton of restaurants, and we love that because we all love to eat here. But we need some diversity in our businesses, so that's something we're really striving for. But we wanna be a place that people come to on the weekend and enjoy in the evenings. And
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about that, that Savannah Square feel,
yeah,
because filming a movie on the square, I'm sure that was one of the highlights of what you've done.
yeah,
Just to experience, there's a movie crew here, there's lights, there's action, cameras, like it was intense, like it
yeah,
was beautiful.
yeah.
Um, you know, is there something inside of you that's like, we can make the square look like a Hallmark movie?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
it can be a Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
Like, tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I
That
think
dream.
we have a hard time because we live here looking at what all the great things that we have. When that movie company came, they were pointing out every little bitty thing that we just kind of overlook because we look at it every day, and it just kind of gave us a new outlook on what it is that we have going on here. That movie experience was wild, and there's talks for them to come back. They've they've been talking to us about bigger budget movies coming here, and that's kind of crazy to me. But I think when you have an outsider's perspective on everything that we have to offer, that was incredible for us because it gave us new viewpoints on things that we're just overlooking.
Okay, well, let the cat out of the bag, girl. What's going on? What's the scoop?
Well, we have a production company. Part of the production company that came prior has been in talks with neighboring counties and our own down the pipeline to do some movie filming here permanently. We aren't sure what a timeline looks like for that, but that's in the works.
Now, when you say permanent, what do you mean? Is Hollywood moving in next to, Gambino's over there? Or what
So
what
it
are we
would
talking
be
about?
what they talk about is having a production office here. So they would film parts of movies here. They do it in St. Joe quite often, and so they would have like a permanent production office in our county. That would help with our tax base as well. There's quite a bit of money that would come with that. And they would be here for several years filming small parts of movies or parts here and parts in other counties. Just seems like a good opportunity for us. It's a lot of work to get that figured out, and they need to figure some things out on their end, but it's definitely in the works.
That's wonderful. I think that, solidifies your new nickname, which would be Hollywood.
Yeah.
I think, we underestimate the role, though, that you have played in people wanting to live in Savannah. I want you to hear that because I
Yeah.
think, we talk all the time about house values are up and people are trying to move to Savannah. They're trying to get into the district and there's no houses for sale because people want to live here.
Yeah.
But Katie, you must be a part of that because the image that you have helped create of this community is a strong one. And so, you deserve to be commended for that.
Thank you.
For sure. One last question I wanted to ask you was about your relationship with the city and the county and all the things that you're somebody who I can call and say, who do you know about that I can talk to about this issue and that issue? Because you kind of have a little bit your toe dipped in a lot of little areas.
Yeah.
How is your relationship with the county and the city? And what do you know that we don't know that could help us as citizens be more involved?
Yeah. So, my dad was on city council when I was growing up. So I kind of always known the importance of being part of the conversation. I think as a community, we are trying as a chamber to be hard about educating people, but I think it's important as a citizen that you ask questions. The relationship that we have with the city and the county has really improved. I would say our communication is better, but I'm also in it a lot. We've really made that investment that I go to city council all the time. I'm in the commissioner's office. I talk to Cindy in the treasurer's office. We're very informed because I think that's important for us to make decisions. But I also think that it's important that our citizens make that same commitment. When we're having a ballot issue, I think it's important that we're all informed. I think when we're electing our officials, it's important that we're informed. And that would be something I would encourage anyone to do is just stop in city council every once in a while. They meet every first and third Monday, 6 p.m. at the Clasby. It's like an hour. Even if you just get some information, meet some people you didn't know, it's important that you at least know who your city council members are. So if you have a problem, you can call them with an issue or have a question. And our commissioners meet every Monday and Thursday. So it's important you just stop in, even if you just sit for one meeting every 6 months, that you're informed on something. I think that that's super important because when we're making decisions as a community, and things that will impact our entire community, you need to be informed on who's making those decisions, at least.
All right, that's a wrap on this episode of the 3994. I'd like to thank Katie Graham and each one of our sponsors. You can click below on their links in the show notes to learn more. But here they are: Sweet Storage, Greater Than Financial, The Bunker Club, Venus Cafe, Edward Jones and Jason Sarsney, North Central Missouri College, and United Fiber. Next week, NCMC Dean of the Savannah campus, Clarence Green, will join us. From viral sensation at Northwest Missouri State University to interim president of that university, and now to leading Savannah's first college campus. You won't want to miss it. Until next time.